Wednesday, July 9th, for our 6 o'clock town board meeting. Clerk, could you please read the roll call?
Councilman Migan?
Here.
Councilwoman Snow?
Here.
Councilwoman Pitt?
Here.
Councilman McCarthy?
Here.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Here. Please stand and follow us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, first item on the agenda tonight will be acknowledgement of minutes for the June 4th, 2025 meeting. I'll make a motion. Can I have a second for that?
Second?
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
I was not here, so.
Oh, okay. Next item, privilege of floor with respect to agenda items only. Anyone with any comments regarding the resolutions on the agenda tonight? Come on up, state your name and address for the record, and try and keep your comments around 3 minutes.
Excuse me.
You have a comment being called in? All right, seeing none, we'll move along to the resolutions. The resolution 98, I'll make a motion for billing for Pauling Water District number 2. Can I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I'd just like to ask a question more, and I can talk about it more later, but I mentioned it a while ago as well, the software for the bill, is it for the billing, is going obsolete?
Yeah, we had an email about that this week that just came through from the clerk as well.
So
About changing up the software.
I'll talk about it more after, I guess, and we'll get through this, but what date did that, when will it be no good
I
anymore?
think the end of this year, I believe, right?
The end of this month, we would have to sign up, because then at the end of the year, if we don't, we will no longer have support.
Right, so we need support for January 2026.
You have support until December 31st, 25.
But-
If you sign up by the end of July, which is what I believe my email said.
Okay.
Perfect. All
Well,
right.
if you don't approve it tonight, you won't be signing up by the end of July, so,
So then we'd
which
be,
is why I asked for it to be on the agenda, as an agenda item.
But that doesn't relate to this resolution, though. This is the
No, I
current,
was
this is the
just-
current bill.
I
This is
was
the current.
just curious
This is the
about
current
it.
billing. Sure, certainly. All right, so we'll do a roll call vote. Councilwoman Pitt?
aye.
Councilman McCarthy?
Aye.
Councilwoman Snow?
Aye.
Councilman Migan?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt, aye. Resolution 98 passes. The resolution 99, performance bond release for Getaway LLC. I'll make a motion for resolution 99. Could I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote. Councilwoman Pitt?
Aye.
Councilman McCarthy?
Aye.
Councilwoman Snow?
Aye.
Councilman Migan?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt, aye. Resolution 100, waiver of fee for the Pauling Chamber of Commerce. I'll make a motion for resolution 100. Could I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Councilwoman Pitt?
Aye.
Councilman McCarthy?
Aye.
Councilwoman Snow?
Aye.
Councilman Migan?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt, aye. And resolution 101, payment of bills for the town of Pauling. I'll make a motion for 101. Could I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Councilwoman Pitt?
Aye.
Councilman McCarthy?
Aye.
Councilwoman Snow?
Aye.
Councilman Migan?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt, aye. Thank you.
And then
You know,
tonight,
I didn't realize it had to be adopted tonight. Let me review, I'll look it over tomorrow again. If we have to, we'll have another meeting quick. We'll put one together to get that in. I didn't realize that it had to be adopted. So we have till the end of July to get that adopted?
Correct.
All right, I'll review that tomorrow. If we have to have a special meeting to get that software adopted, then we'll make sure we do that.
Does that software adoption come up how many years? Do we know, or,
The software adoption?
not software adoption, but updates
We've
to
had
the
this software for many, many years, and it has become obsolete. They want us to update it, and so the company they don't have an update. So this is a whole new system, but from the same company. But they would migrate all of the information, they would set it all up, they would basically do all of it.
All right, so they're pushing out fresh software, and they're gonna do the whole migration, everything.
Yes, but I told you this back in '22, that it was gonna go away, and here we are at the last minute, so, you know.
So,
We can revisit this again tomorrow, that we can pull up that email again from everybody, and again, if we have to get a special meeting to adopt that one resolution, we've done
Kathy,
those before,
is
so we
it
can get it done.
a sole source provider? Are we locked into this company, or is it something that we should be
No, I'm not
looking
locked
at
into the
other?
company at all, but we did put a bid out, not last year, but in '23 for the water meters, and we added the software to that.
Yeah.
It was actually separate, and while we did get bids on the water meters, we received no bids for water billing software. It's not a common thing.
Yeah,
It's not,
Okay.
you know. So, I mean, anybody's welcome to go ahead and see if they could find
doesn't
other
sound like
software
they're gonna have too much
providers.
luck if nobody responded to the
You didn't have
request
any
for
traction the
bids.
first time,
Yeah.
right? It's a small
Correct.
district too, is another
That's
reason.
correct.
Okay, so could everyone respond to that email tomorrow? And
So
we'll get this work done tomorrow, and
Yeah.
then we'll schedule a special meeting to get this adopted for you, Kathy.
and I just want to, I printed out the quote, I guess, from, is it from Edmunds?
Edmonds is, yes.
Software, 2,000, professional service implementation, 2,500, conversion services, 2,500. So would the total amount be 7,000, or is there more to it?
No, what you see there is the total.
Okay.
I
And then there
didn't,
was a
I
yearly
didn't
fee?
think, yeah, well, there's always a yearly
And
fee for
that's,
support,
was that
yes.
part of the 2,000 every?
I believe it is, but it's only for the year.
So
Every year
a
you
little
would get
further
billed for it.
down here,
Right.
it says
But as with any software, you get billed every year. for
utility billing and collections, 3-year, it says $2,000.
support. What does that say?
Utility billing and collection, 3 years. So I would add, maybe I can ask you separately, you can look at this and just kind of explain it.
Certainly.
Yeah.
I thought it was 2,000 a year, the way I read that, but I could have been wrong.
I don't think the support is 2,000 a year, but we'll have to look at it.
If you have any questions, let's just reply to that email thread, right?
Yeah,
Everybody was
good.
on there?
Yeah.
And then we'll try and get those answered right away, and then we'll just schedule a special meeting to get this resolution done before the end of July. This way it's in place in time. So they said it'll take roughly 4 to 5 months to implement this?
16 months.
16 months.
That's what I said in my email, correct.
But if we adopt it in July, they'll be able to get it going by January.
16 months. It's going to take time for them to migrate all the information over, make sure it's correct, put us on a schedule. It doesn't happen overnight. So that's why if we sign up by the end of July, they will give us support right up until the new software comes into effect. If we don't, then the support goes away the end of the year.
Sure, so continued support.
Right.
Got it.
I said that all in my email.
Thank you. All right, town board items, special consideration, new business. I'll start with Councilwoman Pitt.
The only thing that I would like to address, and I mean, I guess it can come up at our next meeting as well, because it's my understanding that Brendan is gonna be here at our next meeting to discuss
In August.
Tremson.
Correct.
August?
Yes.
Okay. So I was just curious about Tremson. I'm curious about follow-up on the Dewey Lane Bridge. I'm curious about sewer line to the south. I know when I was on the planning board, coming up on, what was this now, 4 years ago, we have a new Hannaford that's approved and by the planning board and waiting, and they're waiting for this line to run down 22 before they begin construction. I know that our current Hannaford seems to be, you know, struggling during the heat with issues with refrigeration on the roof, so on and so forth. So I know that they would like to see this, this project move forward.
Dewey is, I did speak with the engineers this week. So Dewey Lane did have comments from DOT that it went to our engineer that's handling that project. They did answer those questions between the engineers, from DOT engineers and ours. So it is back in front of DOT in New York State. So we're hoping sometime this month to get a response from them. As far as this is their final review, and they had a few questions that came up, and it was just the engineers on both sides going back and forth on it. But I'll try and get an update from them in the next week or two and get it over to the board. We're just waiting to hear from both of them at the same time.
Okay, great. And if I can just ask the board regarding an email that I had sent on the 16th of last month regarding executive sessions, local codes pertaining to said executive sessions, what's discussed within executive sessions, and just establishing a local code here for the town of Pauling that would cover conversations discussed in confidence in executive session and repercussions or ways to move forward if board members repeat things that are discussed in executive session once those sessions have been completed. So I sent that email out. There have been multiple emails between myself with the entire board on it, with Nancy, Brendan, and Scott CC'd. There are some examples here from E-code. I believe this is E-code 360 with some rather basic examples that townships have put in place in order to cover executive sessions and disclosure of information from sessions. Also sent over by Brendan, there's also, ethics, code of ethics pertaining to executive sessions here. So if everybody, I would just ask you to please look at that email. That's something that I would like us to discuss and move forward with if the board agrees. That's it for now. Thank you.
Okay.
So I have a question about Dewey Lane as well. That's FEMA funding?
No, Dewey Lane was, there's two different grants. One was Bridge New York, and the other, it's like 50% roughly of it came from, I forget what fund.
I know
it was.
I asked
They're
this-
both New York State.
I know I asked this before, and I think the timeline was fine, but the funding is still, we
In
have.
place. Funding's in place, yeah.
Okay. And is there an end date on it, or?
There is.
You won't know that off
There
the
is.
top
I
of
don't know the date off the top of my head, but we're within that, and they've been kept involved in the process, because when they had called, emailed a few months back, asking about, where the project was, we were able to respond to them, because the state said, hey, we put this funding in place, when's the project moving forward? And we were able to say, hey, the project's been sitting in front of New York State DOT, so they gave us an extension because they realized there was another state agency holding up, not the town.
Right.
So it is in place, and I'll get another update out to everyone. Like I said, the engineer's been back and forth, that's why I spoke to him this week already. But I'll get it, when we get both of them on the same page as far as the response, I'll get it out to everybody.
And as far as I'm all for anything in executive to be confidential, 100%. Is it common that towns implement a policy
We could
on that?
definitely look at, off the top of my head, I wouldn't know that, but I'm happy to shoot an email out to the supervisor and mayor list for the county.
I mean, I would
And
think
can
it would
find out
just
how many
be-
have that type of agreement in place, sure.
I mean, I'm also, in that note on ethics, we could also pursue an ethics board, which we tried to last year. I think that goes in line with this type of ethics as well. So,
I would imagine it could go hand in hand,
Yeah.
sure.
Well, if the board refers to the email, you'll see the correspondences, you'll see the E-code 360 with townships who do have said local code, so.
good.
Thanks, Councilwoman Pat. Councilman McCarthy?
The only thing I have, I sent the clerk and Cheryl a question. Do you know how many accounts the meters still don't read properly in Water District Number 2? Were there any?
I don't.
You don't know? Okay. I'll resend that. And do you need us to pass a resolution or make a motion to send that letter out pertaining to?
According to Brendan's email, yes, that was a draft for approval by the board. So I never saw the board approve the letter, so we never sent it out.
Did everybody see the letter that was sent from Brendan regarding this?
I
Can
think
we-
we just didn't, it didn't come up in
Yeah,
our
we didn't
meeting to
converse.
approve
Yeah,
it.
could we approve the fines, was it last meeting, was it in May?
In May.
In May?
We approved the meetings in May. So I'm happy to make a motion to have the clerk send a letter to the residents that meters still do not work, as per the letter from Brendan.
Or that number,
There was, but
Brings
I
it
don't
up.
know how many still didn't work, so.
I'm not sure, I can check with Cheryl. Had I known you were gonna ask, I would have had the answer.
Nancy, should he add anything else to that motion?
No, I think he's made it clear that you're approving it in the form submitted by the town attorney's office, so that's sufficient.
I'll second that, Jim. We'll do a roll call vote. Councilwoman Pitt?
Aye.
Councilman McCarthy?
Aye.
Councilwoman Snow?
Aye.
Councilman Migan?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt, aye. Motion carries. Letter to District Two.
That's all I have.
All right, thank you very much. Councilwoman Snow?
Yeah, the only thing I have is, I had seen on the agenda for the planning board under new business that Starkdale is coming to them. And I guess just because people, it always comes up, and just so that there's not misinformation, I guess, is that they originally thought they might be coming to them on the 18th, but I did call Joanne just to get clarification on that. And since the board isn't going to be, she won't have the whole planning board, they're setting that meeting up for Tuesday, September 2nd. So Starkdale will be on the agenda for the planning board.
Do we know what they're on the agenda for? What they're asking for?
Now, what is it?
I believe, if you
I don't think she has the plans yet.
Oh,
Yeah, but-
Okay, just a date. All right.
so last
if I can,
that we
I'll
knew,
look while you talk.
they were, the planning board, I think it was in January,
January.
told them, or they said that they were gonna make an appointment to come here, to come
Yeah.
before our board. That never happened.
No, nothing's happened since January.
I
I'm
believe
wondering
they're
why they were,
supposed to make a submittal to the planning board in July, in August, I'm sorry, for September. So,
well, as soon as we get their submittal, I'm sure the planning board will have it posted as well,
Yeah.
right? It'll be up on their website and stuff, so there'll be plenty of information out there, I'm sure, for it. And which meeting in September was that, Councilman?
It's on the Tuesday, actually, instead of Monday, because Monday's Labor Day, the holiday, so it'll be Tuesday, September 2nd. Looking to see if there was anything on the bottom of the agenda. Yeah, I'm sorry, I just wanted to see if it said anything on the
Certainly.
agenda, but it didn't.
Perfect.
But that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Migan?
So recently, the board has somewhat talked about human resources consulting service.
Yes.
I think it's important. I know it's going to cost. I think the estimate or the bid that Stephanie was nice enough to get, I believe was $700 a month for their services.
Yeah.
And it was additional for, it wasn't all-inclusive. And just, it was asked if we should get other quotes, and Nancy responded, since this is professional service, quotes from other consultants are not legally required, but are strongly encouraged. I think we should almost put it out to bid.
We could put out like an
No.
RFP?
An RFP?
An RFP for it?
Now, we
Request
had
for
talked
proposal?
about even putting it out in other venues other than the Poughkeepsie Journal.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Or maybe we can,
And maybe speak to other townships in Dutchess County and see if we can get a shared service, if someone else has one already.
I know that, I mean, I've brought it up before, and I know it costs, but we're at the point now where can we afford not to have it, to be honest with you?
Yeah, but this is the perfect time. We're in budget, we're just starting budget season, so this is something we'll get quotes on to be worked in between now and October, before the 2026
So
budget's
who
prepared.
who will come up with an RFP for that? Will that be Nancy, or will that be?
We could ask, yeah, Hogan Ross, you
Us.
could write an RFP for that.
Do it. And we don't have to just advertise, we can mail it to companies,
Okay.
consultants that we know provide those services.
And I think a couple of townships got back in touch with us. I think it was townships,
Yeah.
maybe Upper Dutchess
can't remember
County.
off the top of my head
They
who
were
they
using
were.
the same, what company is that, Marty, that you have printed out?
Public sector HR consultants. I think it's the same company
com-
that did our
Handbook?
handbook.
Oh, handbook, that's
It
right, they
is.
were the ones who did
Yeah.
that.
I think Red Hook and Rhinebeck use them as well, if I'm not
Okay. Okay.
mistaken, but
I mean, I can reach out to them, see what they think.
Yeah, get some
what they
references for
think of
sure.
it.
I'll get another email out to the supervisor and mayor list as well and see how many towns outsource it and how many towns keep it in-house, and we'll see what opportunities are out there as well.
That's all.
Perfect. This Saturday is the block party, July 12th. And, you know, you see it advertised all over, you know, some of the village sites, and Henry at the Quick Stop is doing it, pushing it pretty hard. It's 1:30 downtown in the village of Pauling, so anyone who's available this Saturday on the 12th, the village, they always throw a good block party there, so that should be fun. I know that our chief has started to mention the Fireman's Carnival as well. What are the dates for that, Jim? You remember you're in
I
August?
I can't remember. It's,
I can pull it up quick. I just want to get that on the record for him as well. You know, that's their biggest fundraiser of the year, and it's a big event. So the Fireman's Carnival is at Lakeside Park, August 13th through the 16th. And ride bracelets are available every single night, and Friday night there will be a parade. So that's for the Fireman's Carnival as well. And that's all I have for tonight. So next item on the agenda will be privilege of the floor with respect to agenda and non-agenda items. Anyone with any comments for the board, come on up, state your name, address for the record, keep your comments around 3 minutes. I do want to thank our highway superintendent for being here and our mayor for being here tonight as well. The floor is open for anyone with any comments. Seeing none, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
We're not doing the roll call vote for the adjournment.
No, the Germans are pretty easy.